The late start. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Representative Baker. Here. Representative Blanton. Representative Bowling.
Here.
Representative Bridges. Here. Representative Chester Burton.
Here.
Representative Dossett.
Present.
Representative Flannery.
Here.
Representative Fugate.
Here.
Representative Hancock.
Here.
Representative Johnson.
Here.
Representative McCool.
Here.
Representative Miles. Here. Representative Moore.
Here.
Representative Smith. Representative Watkins.
Present.
Representative Wesley. Representative Whitaker.
Here.
Representative Williams. Vice Chair Bauman.
Present.
Vice Chair White. And Chair Gooch.
Here. Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum. Does any member have any special guests they'd like to introduce? Yes, Representative Miles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have Claude Bacon with us from our Greater Owensboro Economic Development, so we're happy to have him with us today. So appreciate him joining us.
Welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we're going to start this meeting. We have three bills on the agenda. House Bill 640, 641, and 790. I would ask Representative Bauman to assume the chair, and I'm going to go to the table. Nobody signed up to speak.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The floor is yours for House Bill 640 when you're ready to proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 640 is a bill about invasive plant species. I have someone from the Energy and Environment Cabinet that are going to help me explain this. And with that, I would ask them to introduce themselves for the record, and then they can proceed with their explanation of the bill.
Good morning. I'm Steve Cull, environmental scientist consultant with the Division of Forestry.
Good morning. I'm Abe Nielsen, also with the Division of Forestry. I'm a section supervisor for our forest health program.
Ready?
Yes, please.
Good morning, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak about this bill. House Bill 640 amends KRS 224-10-100 to authorize the Energy and Environment Cabinet to promulgate administrative regulations to control the spread of invasive, non-native plant species. Invasive plants have the potential to adversely impact Kentucky's native plant species and forest health. The spread of invasive species causes harm to the economy and our natural resources. One example of a highly invasive species is the Callery pear that easily spreads and crowns out native trees, shrubs, wildflowers, and other vegetation. You may not know it as Callery pear, but Bradford pears are a Callery pear, and they can spread and choke out native trees and disrupt the ecosystems. The Kentucky Exotic Pest Plant Council, I have a hard time with that one, has deemed Callery pear a severe threat, and other partners such as Kentucky Association of Conservation Districts are interested and support the ban of this tree. Several states in eastern U.S. have already enacted legislation banning the tree. The state of Ohio passed legislation in 2023 that makes it illegal to sell, grow, or plant Callery pear. House Bill 640 would allow the Cabinet to identify a strategy to control the spread of invasive species and plants and trees.
Okay.
It should be noted that the bill does not conflict with authorities already given to other agencies to control noxious weeds, clearing weeds on roadways, and terrestrial nuisance trees. This bill is focused on the impact that invasive, non-native plant species have on forest health, native plants, and the economy.
Motion on the bill.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, we have a motion and a second. Would you like to continue?
But just one question. I want to make sure that everyone understands that, we give the cabinet the authority to look at these things and plan for instances where these species could be a threat. Just because Ohio and other states have banned the sale of or use of or the planting of Bradford pears, this bill does not do that. Is that correct?
Not presently, it allows us to make administrative regulations, go through that process.
I just thought there might be a question about that, so.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? All right, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Representative Baker? Representative Ballman?
Yes.
Representative Blanton? Representative Bowling?
Yes.
Representative Bridges? Representative Chester Burton?
Yes.
Representative Dossett?
Yes.
Representative Flannery?
Aye.
Representative Fugay?
Yes.
Representative Hancock?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes.
Representative McCool?
Yes.
Representative Miles? Representative Moore?
Yes.
Representative Smith? Representative Watkins?
Aye.
Representative Wesley? Representative Whitaker?
Yes.
Representative White? Representative Williams?
Yes.
And Chair Gooch.
Yes.
All right, House Bill 640 passes with favorable expression, and the same should pass on the House floor. We can now move to House Bill 641.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, House Bill 641, I think, just puts into statute something that is already probably allowed with regulation. But I think most of you remember, the coal industry for several years has been under an attack from Washington, D.C., and they've tried everything from forcing fuel switching as far as driving up cost and all of those sorts of things. And at one point they even tried to make coal combustion materials and classified as hazardous waste, where it would have had to been put into a landfill, a lined landfill or whatever, which would really have driven up the cost. And one of the things that this bill tries to do is landfill space is very valuable. It's very expensive to develop. And we do not need to be putting things that are not necessary into landfills because it uses up the space. Now, for many years, we've actually been able to use coal combustion byproducts as a special waste, and then we could put them into abandoned strip mine lands or strip mine lands, even underground mines, and that sort of thing. So this bill would do two things: make sure that we're trying to save landfill, making sure that we're actually being able to use this in some other things, and we also classify the types of uses that the land can, once we put the coal combustion material in, let's say an abandoned strip mine or whatever, what kind of uses it can. And I know Farm Bureau, one of their major concerns has been that the reduction of farmland in this country, and especially in this state. And so even though it probably wouldn't provide for a lot, this bill does allow that if you were to fill up a strip mine site, put topsoil back over top of it, that could be classified as agricultural use. Agricultural use could be pasture land. It could be just used for growing hay or something like that, or it could be used as production cropland. So that's what we're trying to do with this bill. I don't think there's
We have a motion and a second. Leader Miles, you're recognized to speak.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this forward. I think the main purpose of this is just repurposing a waste product is the main reason for this, is it not?
That's one thing. You can repurpose it. And right now I think a lot of you know that when you drive by a lot of existing power plants in this state that maybe were coal fired, you might see a huge gray mound there of this type of product. It's out in the open. Now there are some people who were maybe concerned about this bill. They were worried that if we put this coal combustion byproduct, this special waste into a strip mine land, and then we put topsoil on it, that it could some way groundwater could leach out. And I'm like, well, right now it's sitting out in the open. It's probably the highest thing in that particular area. It rains on it every time it rains. And so there would be a lot more problem, I think, with the runoff than there would ever be once we reuse this. So,
Thank you, Representative Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you for already speaking to the groundwater concern. I'll be honest, I've received more emails here in my first year in this job about groundwater and water protection than anything else whatsoever. It is my understanding that some of these coal combustion wastes could get into groundwater, seeing that there's potential of less protection of those waters. That kind of speaks to the concern that I heard from my constituents. Anything that you have to input on that as far as making sure that we're keeping water safe, either for our crops and agricultural land or things that could get into well water that our people are drinking?
sure. Well, and I'm glad that you brought that question up because, the thing is that people might say that once that's in the ground and once it's covered up, there might be some small leakage of that could get in the groundwater. But as I said, currently that pile is there open. It's there right now, and every time it rains on it, and so I think there's no question that there's a lot more potential of runoff because if you have a mound that's higher than anything else in the area and it rains on it, I mean, there's nowhere for the water to run but downstream and downhill, and so I think that this would in many ways solve that issue of groundwater leakage or runoff more than it will, exacerbate it.
Thank you for that explanation.
Any other members seeking to be recognized on 641? All right, we have a motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Baker, Representative Ballman, Representative Blanton, Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Bridges, Representative Chester Burton,
Yes.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery,
Aye.
Representative Fugate,
Yes.
Representative Hancock,
Pass.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative Miles, Representative Moore,
Pass?
Representative Smith, Representative Watkins,
I explain my vote. I'm going to pass for now. I just have one other question, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to answer it for me. Thank you.
Representative Wesley, Representative Whitaker,
Yes.
Representative White, Representative Williams,
Yes.
and Chair Gooch.
Yes.
All right, House Bill 641 passes with favorable expression. The
Thank
same
you.
should pass on the House floor. We can now move to House Bill 790, which also has a committee sub.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All in favor, please. Aye. All opposed? House committee sub is before us. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. This committee sub really changes the bill. It takes away all of the setback requirements and all the things that a lot of people felt were negative about this bill. All that it does now, it just says, and that's in, I guess, Section C, on page 3, starting on line 14, it just says, at the time of the filing of the notice required by this paragraph, a construction certificate holder for a solar merchant electric generating facility shall also file a report with the Energy and Environment Cabinet detailing all federal and state incentives utilized by the construction certificate holder relating to this siting. The siting, the construction, and the operation of the facility. The Energy and Environment Cabinet shall compile a report of all of the state and federal incentives disclosures made by solar merchant electric generation facilities under this paragraph, and each year they will submit that to their General Assembly. So that's all the bill really does now is it requires the
All right, we have a motion by Representative Boland and a second by Leader Miles. Are there any questions? All right, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Baker, Representative Ballman,
Yes.
Representative Blanton, Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Bridges, Representative Chester Burton,
Pass.
Representative Dossett,
Yes.
Representative Flannery, Representative Fugate,
Yes.
Representative Hancock,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative McCool,
Yes.
Representative Miles,
Yes.
Representative Moore,
Yes?
Representative Smith, Representative Watkins,
Aye.
Representative Wesley, Representative Whitaker,
Yes.
Representative White, Representative Williams, and Chair Gooch.
Yes.
House Bill 790 passes with favorable expression. Same should pass on the House floor. Is there any other business for committee members to bring before the committee today?
May I come
Yes,
back
sir.
to the chair?
Please.
Thank you.
Representative Bridges, you're recognized, sir.
Just like to remind the members of the committee, there is a meeting today at 10:15 with TVA and several other energy officials to discuss their nuclear update and what's going on with their current SMR situation. So we'd just like to invite everyone to drop in. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking over for me. This normally would be our last meeting. Next Thursday is Concurrence Day only, so it's not going to be a meeting day. I know some of the members may have some questions about Senate Bill 89. Let me say that, as Representative Moore said, probably gotten more emails on groundwater and things with this bill than anything else that we have gotten. For those people we encourage people to get involved in the legislative process, but sometimes there are ways that you get involved that probably are not beneficial to you. They probably have a negative result. I've gotten well over 1,000 emails, and 98% of them were pretty much just what we call, form letters, form emails, or whatever. Most of us don't view those as effective. And now, one thing that I did do is when I got so many of those form emails, and I didn't pay much attention to those as I normally don't form emails. Then some other people came with some questions about Senate Bill 89, and probably I need to apologize that I may have classified those in the same category as those emails that we got, and have started to see that some of those concerns that were raised to me may have validity, and so I know I had several members even on this committee say, when we're going to hear Senate Bill 89, I've gotten so many emails, I'm ready to vote for that bill. And so, that is the point, that sometimes the way in which you try to get involved in the process may have negative results and not the positive results that you want. With that said, I am continuing to work on some language on Senate Bill 89 that would make sure that we are not doing anything that would negatively impact groundwater or take away our ability to regulate and protect, whether it be well water, whether it be our underground caves, our karst streams, sinkholes, or whatever, especially people's wells. And not only do people in much of Kentucky have wells for their well water, but even a lot of our communities will have wells that they used in their treatment facilities for the water for their communities. So if we are able to get some language that makes this bill presentable, I think it's an important bill. I think it needs to be passed. It's very possible that we will have a special called meeting maybe Tuesday of next week, but I can assure you that the 24-hour rule will apply, and you will get a copy of whatever has been agreed to before that meeting. So, any questions about that? Okay, if not, thank you, members. It's been a good interim, and with that, it's not been an interim. It's been a good. We're looking.